Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. For today, for my today's drawing, I will be using a fountain pen that is been around for a while and is well known, and it's well loved and hated at the same time. Also it's been a source of inspiration for a lot of other fountain pen companies, especially coming from China. The Kaweco Classic Sport. I had this fountain pen for a little while, for a couple of years, and I have used it before. Not as much as I would have probably loved it too, but enough to know about it, to know how it feels, and to understand why a lot of people are in love with the fountain pen. It's pretty much a pocket fountain pen, very light, very easy to carry around. The only downside that I see on it is that it can't take a full-size converter. You have to, play around with this tiny little converter that it's hard to use, especially when the ink bottle goes a little bit lower, and you kind of have to fiddle with it. You most probably can use cartridges, small cartridges with it anytime you want to, but personally I'm trying to reduce again the plastic use as much as possible, so as such I prefer refillable converters. Doesn't take as much ink as a small cartridge, but still much more preferable in my opinion. Speaking of ink and refilling, for today's ink I decided to use the Noodler's black. I forgot I had this ink. I have one more ink from them. I forgot the name of them. I think it was Apache Sunset. I only used it once. So, Noodler's black. Forgot I had it. I have plenty of ink left, and since my platinum carbon black is going low, I decided to give this one a try. I forgot that this one actually it's a little bit darker than the platinum black. Filling it up, no real issues except that I had to really work with my fingertips in order to get that section as deep as possible into the ink bottle, and as you probably have seen, I did get to dirty my fingers on the bottle edge. Writing though, there was absolutely no issue. The flow is actually very good, especially with this ink. So no real complaints. Even when I was writing pretty fast, there were no skips and no issues with it. I believe the nibs that these fountain pens come with are number 5 nib Bach nibs. Please do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are using Bach nibs. And as mentioned, no issue with the nib. It was working actually pretty fine on both sides. On the Muji paper, it was skipping a little bit on reverse, but once I went to the drawing paper that I'm using, there was absolutely no skips. The fountain pen, it's a fairly inexpensive fountain pen in theory. However, once you start adding up the cost for the clip, the cost for the converter, the cost starts to go a little bit higher up. I believe I paid around $35 when I originally bought it, and the extra bits and pieces added up to be around 75 Canadian dollars back then. If it's cheap or not, obviously I leave that decision up to you, but I understand why this fountain pen might not be for everyone, especially the way it feels in hand. This model specifically feels built a little bit kind of on the cheap side, I would say. It feels that if I squeeze it a little bit too hard, it will basically break apart. One annoying thing that I found on this specific model that I have is that when I post it, I have to post it fairly deep in order for the cap to stay secure, and it does post very well. I have no complaints. But when you try to unpost it, you actually have to fight with the cap to take it off. I find that slightly annoying. The other thing that I found annoying as I was drawing was the clip. While it works very nicely, maybe for writing, for the drawing, and especially for the drawing style, how I was using it, and how I was holding it, especially on reverse. The clip was on the way, so at one point you will see me that I actually remove it. But I guess the good thing about the clip, it is removable if you don't need it, and at the same time, if you do need it, you just put it back on and you're off to go. So I guess in the end, not a really big deal, it's just something to note. Diving into the drawing, as you've seen me, I started with, like usual, some random lines, nothing really specific. I had no plan again, so I just kind of moving the pen around the page trying to find a shape until I found something intriguing. I'm not gonna say interesting, I'm just gonna say intriguing. And again, same as usual, I just started to fill in the shapes that I had on the page, trying to let the pen flow and find the shape of the being by itself, and I was just slightly guiding it once I was finding something interesting to use, or something interesting that I like. The drawing took me about 2 hours in total, 2 hours and 15 minutes or somewhere around there. I really enjoyed it. It was very pleasant. Inflow was actually very good, so I didn't have a dry nib as I usually have while I'm doing these drawings, but I found a way around it. I used the fountain pen a lot on reverse, and I used that on the side, so it was reversed, turn 45 degrees, and even then, surprisingly, the flow was still pretty good, but it was at the limit of getting drier because the contact patch with the paper wasn't very good, and as such it was creating like skipping issues, which I actually wanted in order to do this drawing and in order to keep a light hand so I can build my values slowly. Was fun, was an interesting challenge. Even posted while for writing might be perfect size. I do find that actually a pretty good size once it's posted. For drawing, as you see how I'm holding it, it's actually not the best. Sometimes I was holding it under my thumb in order to get some nice grip on it, and I was kind of like pressing with my thumb on it in order to hold it, and I was literally using it as an extension of my on my finger. And a little bit light for my taste. Probably this is one of the major points or downsides from my perspective on this fountain pen. I do love the design of it though. It's pretty. I definitely understand the appeal and why so many people love it. I do have another one, a blue one I think. I couldn't find it. I wanted to use that one for the drawing part, but I just couldn't find it. I need to spend more time in clearing my clutter and my fountain pens and reorganize them, I guess. Something that I should do since I haven't purchased new fountain pens for a while now. Maybe, who knows, maybe get rid of some of the fountain pens that I'm not really using. Honestly, not much that I can say about the fountain pen. It's a lovely fountain pen. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, I have no issue recommending it. Definitely works as intended. And if you like light fountain pens, they're actually pretty cool. And they do have newer versions that are made out of brass and copper, I believe, or just brass. I don't remember. I believe it's brass, aluminium. I don't think they have a titanium version. But if you want the titanium version, you can always buy the Moonman version. Yeah, not sure what else to say. Lovely fountain pen. Going back to my drawing, as you see me, I'm still building up those values in there. Slowly, it's turning out into a pretty interesting shape. I wasn't sure exactly what to compare it with. What I really like about the drawing is the face. It's like an old man's face with a really big nose that comes curved over the face or the mouth. And then it's kind of a cowering. The whole thing vibes a lot. I don't know if I would call it a woody creature or more like a bony creature. At one point I wasn't sure if I wanted to give it legs to stand or walk, but then I just decided to just make it float. This way probably is much easier on the poor little thing to move from places to places. Wouldn't it be nice that if you get old you should be able to float? This way you don't have to walk anywhere. Much easier to just glide wherever you need to go. Yeah, anyway, I guess I'm getting a little bit tired. Like I mentioned, it took me about 2 hours to complete this drawing, and I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna try for the next one to come up with a plan. I've been meaning to do like a wolf version or something similar, and maybe if I'm saying it out loud that I'm planning to do it, it will happen. Still in the same drawing style, but like a wolf creature, especially from the front. Kind of like a demonic wolf creature. So maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try and psych myself right now. So this way next time I'm gonna do the drawing, I'm going to actually dive into it. Hopefully I'm not gonna chicken out. Well, basically if you don't see me drawing a wolf, you know what happened. I chickened out. Anyway, running out of things to say like usual. I don't have a lot of story to say. My life is well, fairly boring. Not a lot of things going on in my life other than family and the normal regular stuff, which I guess sometimes it's a good thing to have. Too much excitement maybe is not that good. What I am looking forward to is January, when I'll probably take a break from the drawings, and I'm still kind of thinking or pondering if I should do my final thing for the year, where I combine all my drawings into one big video. I noticed it's not very popular. Not a lot of people looked at the previous one, so maybe I'm not gonna do it. I don't know. I'm still pondering on that one. Anyway, getting at the end of this one, so I think I'm gonna stop talking here. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you like the fountain pen. Let me know if this is one of your favorite fountain pens or not. And I'll definitely see you next time with another fountain pen. And yeah, I wish you all the best and a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.